Be cool if I could remember my dingus password for my email.
A few episodes ago, something stuck with me about that Best Buy and that payphone. Where was the payphone? What's a Best Buy? What makes its buy the best?
Oh, look how pretty these are, though. Oh, that's what's up, though.
Man, I'm gonna take a picture of it and just post it.
Oh, fire twerks. Fire twerks. Oh, pop it. Pop it.
Are you having a bad dream?
No, I suffer from a disorder called sleep fighting.
That must be terrible.
Only when I'm losing.
Louis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Well, hello and welcome. This is What the Hell Did You Expect? Episode number 28 in a collector's series. I'm your host, Kevin Ryan, weighing in this week at 195 pounds. So, staying more or less consistent. We're going to have a long show today. We can actually plan that much today because very consistently the people after us have not been showing up, and even the people before us didn't show up, although they seem to have left a nice little mini pool set for us. Also on the show today, first of all, on the show today, I guess, is Colin Splooge.
Llamas.
And also on the show today is Aaron Graham.
I'm never going to give you up. I'm never going to let you
Longtime friend of the show, Aaron Graham.
Run around
everyone.
or desert you.
Also,
I like dessert. Dessert's delicious.
Sorry for the squeaky mic problems. If you're listening live, you will probably know that earlier Colin and Aaron and I were testing out the mic 3 situation. And now
I don't
Colin,
think there's a way to make this better.
And now Colin is fucking with the mic live, which is an excellent idea.
I am the epitome of professionalism.
We're just going to have a squeaky
big
mic
words.
show. You know big words?
I know big words.
We'll see about that on
like
the big
birds. Those are big words.
Also, Aaron, you're going to have to get closer on the mic. That's the one thing I wanted to just sort of mention out at the beginning of the show. I'm also, I have a little bit of boozahol with me tonight, just, to lubricate conversation a little bit, but, that shouldn't be a problem.
Lubricate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your word choice is fantastic, as usual.
Thank you.
Sorry, the stand doesn't really reach over here.
Well, then get closer.
Sorry. Anyway, that's a common phrase. I hear that all the time.
Closer onto the mic.
Okay, fine. Jeez. Yes.
Stick it in your mouth.
Well, not quite into your mouth. Not as much as I have it.
Yeah,
but
you said I could. I didn't have to do that. You said I could be over here.
Yeah, you want to be like that much away from it.
All right, this is good.
Yeah, but you actually have to speak at a normal speaking volume.
All right, is this good?
Yeah.
I didn't have these problems last time. Jeez.
Yeah, well, that's because equipment is a little bit different this time.
Oh,
we
is it?
used to have a mic cover on that mic, which meant it was a little bit different to speak into it. But I'm sure this is making a riveting imaginary radio right
Are we
now.
really going to open every single show with talking about our equipment? I mean, that's kind of how we've done it the past few weeks. I'm not really sure I
guess
agree
it's-
with this.
I guess it's a tradition now, so like I feel like we kind of have to, or we kind of should, but I don't particularly want to. Anyway, I think we should. I just want to mention I got my edits back for my honors thesis. There are 187 comments on my paper. So to avoid that, I've been watching Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Motherfucker. I was hoping to get past you.
No, there's no way you're past me.
Damn
Colin.
it. How far are you?
I'm on episode 18 of season 3.
Motherfucker! Okay. I'm on episode 18 of season 2.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Damn. Okay. Are you going to watch all of Korra too? Because I'm going to keep going.
yeah, no, I'm going to watch all of Korra.
All right. Fair enough. Do you want to play games first, or are we just going to jump straight into the Avatar?
Because I have something that actually just occurred to me
Yeah.
that I didn't mention, and I know I would forget immediately. I think last week when I was talking about stylistic stuff, in which I like Korra better than Avatar for the most part, I think the one thing that I like better about Avatar stylistically is that it feels much more atmospheric. Like, for some reason, the art and the settings and everything just feel so much more, like, alive and stuff than they do in Korra.
I completely agree, and I also think I was noticing that today. That has something to do with seasonal shifts.
Definitely.
Each season is literally a season. Like, season 1 is winter, season 2 is, like, early spring, and season 3 is late spring, early summer.
Mm-hmm.
And the way each season, like, each book actually has a different coloration and different color palette in
Yeah.
order to accommodate that, which is
and
really,
all
really
of
cool.
the settings are so rich, which I don't think gets to be that way in Korra because it's always Republic City.
I think this also has something to do with just how relatable the settings are. Because, I mean, in Korra,
Yeah.
everything is super... Well, okay, not super steampunky, but a whole lot more steampunky and more alternate history stuff, whereas, you know, the stuff in the original series is, well, a little bit closer to reality.
Yeah.
But it's also totally pastoral and, like, harkens back to this historical, like, adventure tradition that we've had for hundreds of thousands
Very
of
much
years.
so, yeah.
Where steampunk is relatively new, like 100 years old or something.
There's a way in which Avatar feels more like the Odyssey. It feels more like they're going on this big, long, continuous, epic journey.
Well, that's because they are.
Yeah.
Where Korra wasn't.
That's exactly what it is.
Gee, how about that?
No, I mean, I'm just saying, though, I like that form better, I think, the
that's
big,
fair.
long Odyssey than the segmented. I mean, I guess as I'm watching more of Avatar, the more I'm really getting into it. And even though there are definitely shitty episodes, there are some really, really good ones.
Yeah, I watched I watched the last 10 or like the last 10 episodes of season 2 in particular always like hold me really in the grips of my seat because that's the trip to Ba Sing Se, Appa is kidnapped, that whole like to the fall of Ba Sing Se where
Yeah.
Azula takes over is like just fucking tight and phenomenal and feels like just one book, like there's less filler episodes in that particular
definitely.
stretch. And that's just like, I mean, season 2 so far has been like marvelous because I finished season 1 and I was really like, I watched The Deserter, and that like I forgot how fucking awesome that episode is. And then Siege of the North is wonderful. And then season 2, I actually skipped what were they? The Swamp and Avatar Day in favor of better pacing, and I'm so glad I did because it flows so much better without those episodes in there.
I didn't. I watched both of them. I mean, I'm on a mission to watch every single episode. Yeah. But I wasn't so much of a fan of either The Swamp or Avatar Day. The Swamp is important, though. The Swamp introduces the possibility of Toph.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of disagree about the whole end of season 2 being the best part stuff. Like all that Appa's Last Days stuff. I think that could have been cut out really easily. I didn't care about Appa enough to want to watch that.
I
or
mean,
was that just me?
I agree. I think like a short vignette about what Appa had been up to that whole time would have been interesting and cool, but making it into a whole episode, I think, was a bit of a stretch.
I liked it. I watched that episode like an hour ago, so that's literally all I've been doing today. I went to work, came back, and started watching Avatar. So I really do not. I love the like in those like last episodes. There's a lot of like animal like cruelty, animal rights shit just happening in those episodes, and I like that. I think that's cool. That episode also totally sets up like there was no other way to get back to Kyoshi and the Kyoshi warriors and Azula except through that, but they could have done it somewhere. I don't know. I liked it. It's okay.
I like animal cruelty. Colin's Plea, 2015.
Sorry. That's totally not what I said.
I know. It was too easy.
I think the other thing is I've been watching season 3. Season 3 is good. Yeah. But there's something about season 2. What you said, Colin, about the pacing of it that I think is better in season 2 than season 3. Season 3 is great. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of really interesting character development and world building, and like you sort of go back. One of the episodes, the Avatar and the Fire Lord, you just learn about Avatar Roku and his relationship with Sozin, which is a really cool storyline to develop and everything. But I don't know, it feels a lot more sort of segmented than the last half of season 2.
Those first few episodes kind of go back to the vignette format of season 1 a bit. Like season 1 builds to an epic battle. Season 2 feels more cohesive, and then season 3 kind of has that. The first 10 episodes of the first 5 episodes maybe of season 3, if I remember correctly, I haven't seen them yet in like years, but they feel more like a pause in the storm before the Day of Black Sun battle, and then it's all just plot until the finale, and you have the climax.
Well, yeah, just about. And I mean, there's also the part though after Zuko joins Team Avatar, when Zuko goes off with Katara to do a thing that's kind of not plot related, and then Zuko also goes off with Sokka to do a thing that's a little plot related, but
Life-changing field trips.
Yeah, exactly. The life-changing field trips.
Those episodes are literally the best episodes because Zuko hangs out with people, and it's amazing.
I like the episode where Zuko and Sokka are hanging out. I think the Zuko and Katara episode is a little bit but I mean that's like one of the episodes that I most recently watched.
It's kind of uncomfortable. That's why.
No, it is kind of uncomfortable, but it's also you can tell that those voice actors don't really know what to do with each other. I think it is part of my problem with Zuko and Katara trying to like be friends in the series is even when the writing and the direction make it so that they're totally like on the same side, they're friends and everything, the voice actors don't particularly sound like it, to me at least.
Yeah, you say that, but then I remember that scene from Sozin's Comet when Zuko's fucking dying and Katara's healing him and they have that moment together. I remember that being really hella genuine, but maybe that was just coming off of the amazing Azula fight. So
I don't remember that
from
Sozin's Comet at all.
That's in the last episode of the series, so we'll see. That's exciting.
I just finished watching the Ember Island Players episode, though.
Oh, God.
The one where they basically make fun of themselves so much.
That's the best episode.
Yeah, it was really great, and I think the best moment of that episode also is when the big muscular guy gets introduced as Toph.
Yes. Sounds like tough, because that's what I am. I don't know. I thought it was really unclear. It was a much better moment.
I just saw the Jet dying bit, and that was... I don't know how anyone ever thought that he wasn't dead. Like, it was basically just... The only part that was ambiguous was that he didn't have, like, a giant hole in his sternum. Like, all the other, like, narrative cues were, yes, this is a character who's dying, and we just can't show his wounds because kids show.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yep.
So, like, are we just gonna just? Oh my God, Toph is the best character in the world. I'm sorry, but
I mean, I like to think that Iroh is the best character.
yes, I just watched Tales of Ba Sing Se and the fucking
Oh my God,
like
it
where
makes me
his son
cry.
dies. Oh my, or doesn't die. He's like mourning his son. But actually, did you like? I never noticed this before. I love that I can watch this show for like the fourth time and still notice new things about
Yeah.
it. That in the one of my favorite episodes in season 2, Bitter Work, where Zuko is training with Iroh and Aang is training with Toph. As Iroh is waking up after getting zorched by Azula, there's some flashback bits, and you actually see that hill where Lu Ten is buried. In that flashback before it
Yeah.
properly shows up in
Yeah.
Tales of Ba Sing Se.
I
I had no
noticed that
idea he
too.
was buried under that fucking tree until I saw that episode.
There's also a flashback when Zuko is on Ember Island, and he's sort of investigating his family's old house. There's flashbacks to, him spending time on the beach with his family, and one of the tiny little, it's up for like 2 seconds,
Yeah.
but it's a flashback of Iroh with like a very little, like 2-year-old child, which I think is supposed to be Lu Ten, his son.
All of the royal family feelings.
I know. There's
I love
so
them
much.
so much.
There's a surprisingly complicated amount of politics within the Fire Nation royal family, I think.
I was really latching on to stuff like, I don't know. I love Zuko alone, if only because it gives
Yeah.
us light into like that bit where Iroh is like, "We're gonna burn Ba Sing Se to the ground," and sort of chuckles like maniacally, like that. I love that moment because it really shows like, okay, this is also a guy who wasn't just born Jesus. He had to go through his like, I was a fucking evil general of a Fire Nation and had to transform as a human being too.
Right.
But this is like, the scope and context that episode gives to the entire series is just fucking magical, and I
Yeah.
love it.
I do too.
Yes. I have all of the good insight to offer here today.
What are your opinions, Aaron?
I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the most disgusting keyboard I've ever seen in my life. I think there's mold in there.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Sorry, it's just kind of... Ugh.
I can't turn it over for you. I'm sorry.
No. I won't look at it.
Hey, do you know what time it is now, actually?
Are we changing topics?
Well, slightly.
Cool.
I mean, it's not quite a topic change. It's more the...
Gavin or Google? Google or Gavin? Which one said it? Let's find out. Hey, I'm feeling lucky.
Okay. So how many people have we stolen from to make this podcast work now? Like just
so
blatantly
many.
stolen, like not even homages. Just that's their thing and we're using it.
Yeah, but it's an imaginary radio show. Like, we're not getting paid for this, and they don't have a copyright on Google or Gavin, so we can use it. Actually, maybe
At this
they,
point, they might.
Actually, they probably
This is
do.
Rooster Teeth we're talking about.
Yeah, but like, as if they're going to come after us about it. Either way, I've got some interesting Google or Colin questions for you, Aaron.
Go for it.
So this is our second edition of playing. Last week we had Leon. She got 2 out of 5 correct. So we're going to see this week if Aaron can beat Lee's previous record. So. Sorry, I just had to set the mood for a second.
No. I
Okay,
appreciate this.
The first question is, why does my arm blank? Why does my arm feel faint? Why does my arm shake when I eat dirt?
What?
Yeah. Why does my arm feel faint? And why does my arm shake when I eat dirt? Who said it? Who said what?
So, from the practice round that we had over lunch the other day,
Yeah.
or last week or whatever, I learned that the most general answer is not always the Google one, because I always guessed that. So I want to say that why does my arm feel numb is Google, because that's this kind of thing that a lot of people would Google, but that trend hasn't been good to me. Fuck it. I'll go with that.
Why does my arm feel faint? That's Google. you're
Yeah,
saying?
that one.
No, you
God
are
damn it.
wrong. Colin asked, "Why does my arm feel faint?" And Google asked, "Why does my arm shake when I eat dirt?"
What? Why would anyone ask that?
The second question.
Who eats dirt?
I eat dirt.
The second.
But you didn't ask the question.
Oh my god. The second question is, do midgets blank?
Oh my god.
How offensive are we gonna get?
We're gonna get pretty offensive.
Full speed ahead.
Do midgets have night vision? Do midgets need stools for sex? Who said the sex one? Who said the night vision one?
This is legitimately difficult. Like,
Yeah, no,
Google
this
or
one-
Gavin
this-
is harder than this.
This one is really difficult. Actually, if you told me these two, I would have trouble.
Can you say them again?
Do midgets have night vision? Do midgets need stools for sex?
No one's stupid enough to ask if midgets have night vision, do they? I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna have to.
Apparently people
I'm
eat
gonna
dirt,
have to
so-
press you for.
All right,
for an
yeah.
an-
Sorry.
For an answer
All
here,
right,
Colin.
all right.
Or Aaron, rather. Do midgets have night vision? Do
All right,
midgets
all
need
right.
stools for
I'll,
sex?
I'll buck the trend. Night vision is Google.
You are correct, sir.
My God.
Colin wonders if midgets need stools for sex.
After I thought that and typed it down, I realized that no, because if you're a midget, you can just I don't know, do missionary or something, and you won't
Yeah.
need a stool.
No, you're totally fine.
But-
I mean, just go look at some midget porn.
No, thank you. I'll pass.
The third question is, why does my daughter blank? The first option, why does my daughter have green poop? The second option, why does my daughter love huge men 5 years older than her?
Jesus Christ.
This is also a difficult one.
It is. Those actually both kind of sound like Google. I wouldn't be surprised.
They also both kind of sound like Colin.
I don't think so. I don't know. Colin makes poop jokes, so I'm gonna say that's Colin.
No, you're
God.
incorrect. Google asked, why does my daughter have green poop? And Colin wonders why his daughter loves huge men 5 years older than her.
It's hard to tell because you don't have a daughter. I mean,
That you know of.
The fourth question, are bananas blank? Are bananas fattening? Are bananas green?
fuck you. Oh, that's just mean.
To be honest, I found all of the Google answers before I even asked Colin these questions, and when he returned the answer for bananas, I was like, that's so terrible, Colin. Can't. But I let it stand.
I am.
You're getting
yeah.
hard. Yeah, really hard ones actually.
Jeez.
I think these are kind of harder than Lee's last week.
I'm gonna go with fattening is Google.
You are correct, sir.
Yes.
Colin asked if bananas are green. The final question, how easy is it blank? How easy is it to restore an iPhone? How easy is it to sneak into the zoo and steal a monkey?
This is the polar opposite of that last one, I really hope. I mean, iPhone is Google, right?
No.
You've
Colin
gotta
is
be
Google.
kidding.
Colin is Google.
Wait, what?
I am Google. We are Legion.
No.
You cannot resist our programming.
What I meant to say is Colin is iPhone. Google asked about sneaking into the zoo and
What?
stealing a monkey. Well, yeah, because
What?
Colin had iPhone.
No, I
troubles.
get that, but I mean, I thought isn't the way Google suggests answers dictated by how many other people have been searching for similar things?
Yeah, sort of.
Who the fuck is trying to steal monkeys? Who does this?
Us. Dude, my iPhone broke on Friday. I mean, come on.
I didn't know about that, actually.
Would you like to see my new phone? Here.
Ooh, that's pretty. Is that a 6?
Yeah, it's a 6.
Oh, wait, yeah, I do. Okay, you did tell me about this. I remember this now.
I'm gonna
I
kill
forgot,
the
sorry.
Google or Colin music, actually.
Okay.
Because it's irritating after a minute, actually. Wow, we've had that going for 6.5 minutes.
I apologize immediately to our viewers.
Listeners, we have no viewers. This is not a viewing experience radio show.
I mean, that Skyrim card, though.
That's true. Although...
What is the image this week?
I don't know. What is it, Colin?
The image this week is Daenerys Targaryen with a bunch of dragons drawn like a Pokemon character saying, "Gotta hatch 'em all, Khaleesi." Yeah.
I like that.
Check it out. Last week was a Megazord, so nah.
Yeah. I thought you were going to do something Avatar themed.
I did too. And then I couldn't find anything. No. By the time I thought of something, I'm just gonna tell you what it was, and maybe we'll use it as the image for next week. Do you remember the episode The Drill?
Yeah.
I was gonna take the shot of the drill in the wall with like all the like mud and splooge everywhere, and put a Brazzers logo in the lower right corner.
Thank you. Fuck you for almost making me fall out of my chair laughing. But yeah.
I think Mud and Splooge needs to be our show title.
I agree. Let's do it.
Write it
Mud
down.
and splooge. No, I'll remember. Don't worry about it.
Uh-huh. Okay.
It sounds like the words of a house in Game of Thrones. Instead of blood and fire, it's mud and splooge. Also,
Mud
while
and
you were saying that,
Splooge.
I was picturing the scene from, I think it's Family Guy, where a train like runs into a tunnel repeatedly and then blood starts leaking out of the tunnel.
Oh, I remember that.
I try not to think about that. You know, I've thought about that several times today because I watched the drill episode, and I didn't want to, but the internet has permeated my brain.
Hey, guess what? So, you know how sometimes car manufacturers do like a special edition, like how there's an Eddie Bauer edition Subaru Forester, or there's like an LL Bean edition fucking Mazda something or other. I'm pretty sure.
This is a thing? Do they like put
this
their
is a
face
thing.
on it?
Well, no. Like,
Oh, good.
No, Eddie Bauer is like a company. Like,
Well, I mean, you said LL. Oh, I was thinking
LL
LL
Bean.
Cool J. Never mind.
No. No, this no.
I'm sorry.
LL Cool J didn't contract with Mazda for a series of cars. No, LL Bean is in like the outdoor clothing company.
Sorry.
So,
What do they do?
the Chevy Silverado just got a new special edition. Do you want to guess what corporate sponsor they got to do the special edition?
Brazzers,
was about to say that.
Pornhub,
No.
Xvideo, Xhamster,
No.
RedTube.
Literally
jizz.
no porn sites. You jizz?
Yeah, it's a site.
I've never. Okay.
It's got HD shit. Check it out.
At this point, if you just combine
no
two
porn
dirty
sites.
words, it's probably a porn site. Add in tube and you,
probably.
and it's, yeah.
Badger Mole.
Oh my god.
Mud and splooge.
Oh my god. No, it Costco actually. So there's the
Huh.
Kirkland edition Chevy Silverado.
Is it really, really big and really cheap?
No, it comes in a 20 pack.
Okay, that's better.
And it's a discount too, because you buy it in bulk, you get some money off.
Of course.
Say hypothetically that car manufacturers actually sold cars in big shrink wrap bulk boxes. What the hell would you do with 20 cars?
Well, 20 people could go in on a package of 20 cars.
That's true.
Yeah, if they all wanted the same car.
If they're all they're like gross cars that are
Or-
kind of like spongy.
Or, you know what? I guess you could do it like a, there are plenty of little mom and pop gas station convenience store type places where what they do is they go to Costco and they get all their stuff from Costco and then they sell it at a little bit of a markup so they still make a profit even though they're buying everything from Costco. So maybe maybe in this alternate universe where cars are packaged in 20 packs, maybe it's a bunch of mom and pop little car sales dealer what do you call those things?
Car dealers?
Car dealerships? I think it's dealerships.
Yeah, it's dealerships.
Okay. Maybe it's like a bunch of small little mom and pop dealerships like Ed and Sylvia's Cars. Come on in and buy your car from Ed and Sylvia. They're an old-fashioned family place that knows their cars. And they just buy like 20 packs of Chevy Silverados from Kirkland and sell them at a little bit of a markup.
Speaking of cars, which is not a transition I make all that often because I'm
Final Fantasy 15.
Okay, that isn't where I was going with it. Actually, that is cool. But so I saw this amazing picture the other day of a self-driving car that was actually made.
Really?
And was driving around the
Wait,
streets.
is this the Google car?
I don't know. I don't think so. Because the Google car is pretty small, right?
I have no idea.
Okay,
I just
never
thought
mind.
Google was making a
Oh, it is.
self-driving
It
car.
is. I'm
Or
pretty
isn't-
sure.
I think Apple is too.
That's funny because what I was going to say is this thing looks like an iPod. Like it has the Apple aesthetic, but I don't think it's an
God.
Apple car either.
Well, I mean, have you ever seen a Kia Soul? Those things
It
look
rings
like
a bell.
those things look like iPhone cars, even though they have nothing to do with Apple. I don't think. Either way,
But so this car, every like, this car looks like it belongs. It came from 100 years in the future, because not only like from the outside, there's like no distinguishing features. Like it's all just one color, one solid like piece. And so there are windows, but you can't tell where the windows are and where the chassis begins from the outside. And on the inside, it has 4 chairs, like swivel chairs, that all face the center of the car. And there's and there is a wheel, but you'd have to turn one of the chairs around to actually drive if you wanted to. The intention is obviously that you just like have 4 people and like have a meeting in the inside of this car while it's driving itself. It's really cool looking. I don't know if I make it sound cool or not, but it's really cool.
no, that does sound really cool. It also seems like there are a lot of possibilities for a lot of very naughty things to happen. Like,
Oh my god, sex cab.
well, not even like sex cab, because there's not even the awkwardness of the cab driver. Just, no, honestly,
Yeah, actually, that's true. That's a
'Cause-
good idea.
No. The thing is though, it probably wouldn't be as good for that because they're separate chairs. Like there's no.
oh, you can make it work.
Well, I know you could make it work. I'm saying that like having it the way current cars have, with the back seat being like a solid kind of bench kind of thing,
Yeah,
is much better for that than 4 separate chairs.
that's very true. But I'm sure you could modify it so that
Sure,
there was
yeah.
sort of a bench deal instead of 4 separate chairs.
I'm sure you could.
Either way, that's a really I'm kind of excited for the future of
I am too.
technology in cars, especially the whole self-driving thing. Like, I know a lot of people are really worried about, how can a computer drive a car better than a human? Well,
Ain't that
like,
hard.
it's really not that hard, especially once we get to the point when all cars are all being driven by computers that are all talking to each other.
That I don't know if
be-
we're gonna live long enough to see that one.
Well, we probably won't, but our kids or our
Sure,
kids'
sure.
kids might. But I don't know. Like, I feel like that would be so much safer because they're all like, on the network with each other and like talking to each other.
I'm going to totally derail your optimism right now and tell you that, what this trend... I saw a really great video about this a year ago, actually, my brother showed me, about, like, it's actually not that far off to project that basically everything like that will be automated within, like, 40 years from now. That, like, there will be no... Like, factories will be completely automated, cars will be completely automated, buses, cities, like, everything was going to run itself very quickly, soon-ish. So that's cool, but also, like, scary if you're one of those people who depends on your labor force
Yeah.
employment for, like, self-confidence and things.
Or money.
Yeah,
Money is a little bit more than self-confidence in like our market economy.
yeah, but we're not gonna have a market economy anymore if that happens.
I don't know though. I can envision a future in which that still happens, but we have a very weird, toughly competitive market economy. I mean, the thing I worry about with that sort of trend is that we can't keep overpopulating the earth if we do that. There won't be enough jobs for people.
There's already not enough jobs for people.
Well, yeah, that's also a problem. Overpopulation is such a weird, like, because all of the possible solutions to it are so, like, either controversial or just flat out unethical.
See, if you're the Avatar,
Oh my god.
I think Avatar Kyoshi would have some words for you about how these things could be easily solved, Kevin.
Yeah, that's very true. I don't know. I've never I have a lot of thoughts about overpopulation, but I've never really like felt comfortable sharing any of them because they involve like death lotteries and stuff where like half of the population of the world is just sort of killed off.
Would you call them death panels? Thanks, Obama.
Okay, no, you see, the reason that actually wouldn't work is that everybody who got the card, like, there would be like civil war. Like, just straight up people would be like, I'm not gonna die, America! And then you'd have people fighting in the streets, riots. It
Oh,
just wouldn't
totally.
happen.
Let's be honest, this wouldn't happen in America. This would be China. Because
Yeah.
if this is going to start anywhere, it's going to be China.
Or India.
Or
India
India.
is
Or maybe
almost-
Russia.
India is getting damn close to surpassing China in terms of population, actually.
Really?
Yeah, because China has population. Like,
Whoa, wait. Not population density, like population period?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Well, because China has population like laws now that you cannot have
Right.
more than. I think it's actually like one child, basically.
Right. No, that's.
Um,
I think that's true. yeah.
India has no such laws. And
I'm just surprised because of the relative size of the countries and like
Yeah.
China's history as being, incredibly dense.
yeah, I mean, India is very, very densely populated too. In some places, way more densely populated than China. Like the big cities in India are more densely populated than some of the big cities in China, I think.
So here's food for thought. What if instead of the whole death panels lotteries thing, what if we actually build like a giant space station and start sending people up there? What do you think it'll be closer to? Do you think it'll be like Elysium, or is it gonna be like what's a movie where it works?
Elysium is a dumb movie. Let's ignore that it happened. Also, it'll be like DS9 and everything will be awesome. I've been watching Star Trek. It's great.
Okay, yes, Elysium is a shitty movie, but God, I watched that on
By
the
the
flight
way,
back from Japan.
I just pulled up the numbers of population.
Yeah?
China's population is 1.35 billion. India's population is 1.25 billion.
Well,
So only about it's it's about 100 million short of beating China, and based on how quickly their population has been growing, they will beat China soon.
wow. Oh, I thought of a good example. Is it going to be Elysium or Interstellar? Because at the end of Interstellar...
I've never seen either of those.
Oh, okay.
I have no
There's-
context for any of that.
It's basically like, would it work or would it not?
Yeah, that's
like that. That's really the question.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of there's a lot of weird economic issues built in
Yeah.
with that question of who gets to go to space. Is Earth going to be more coveted? Is space going to be more coveted?
I would personally posit that I think it could go either way, but in the early years of colonization, Earth is going to be way the hell more coveted.
Oh sure,
Because
totally.
who wants to go to space and not get to ever come back and also risk everything to live on fucking Mars where it's boring as shit? It looks like Namek up there.
I mean, that reminds me actually of the Ray Bradbury series of short stories, Martian Chronicles. I was reading those like a week or two ago. Really great stuff. Really interesting sci-fi stuff.
It's funny. What it reminds me of is remember Al Noah Zero, the show that you never finished because you didn't like it. Yeah. No, I'm still watching it because it's actually getting better, and that's like the driving force for the entire plot of that show. Basically, mankind starts to colonize Mars, but they find alien super technology and like, we're our own nation now, and declare war and stuff. But then, like, they're like, yes, we are the proud nation of Mars, and we are the best at everything. But their entire goal is to retake Earth because Mars is a shithole.
It makes so much sense.
I know, I love it.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting.
It's kind of okay.
Okay, now take all that and add really dumb anime giant robot tropes on top of it, and you get the show. It's not worth watching.
Okay, no. The robots are all right. No. It does have a lot of really bad anime tropes in it, so I don't know if you'd like it, but...
I mean, maybe this is just my gaijin bias showing, but what are good anime tropes?
Ooh.
Ooh, them's fighting words, boyo. Really good fighting choreography.
That's
a good anime
true.
trope.
That's I will give you that one.
Focus on character development over plot. I don't know. Okay, that's
I don't
not
know
the way
if
to put
that's
it.
an anime trope.
You're right. That's not
though.
the way to put it. But there is a distinctly different way that anime handles that, where there's lots more inner monologues and like people like actually talking about their motivations instead of you having to guess them as the audience. I don't know how to put this into words, but
like more a less opaque character.
sure,
I guess.
Sure,
mean,
maybe. I don't know.
I don't know if I would call that more developed or just more accessible.
It's just different.
I'm gonna go with different, definitely. It's great that you bring that up as a narrative device right now, because I'm experimenting with that in my current webcomic Pantheon, which I'm still working on, and there's none of it online yet, so don't ask listener number 1 who commented about aliens for like 6 episodes ago. Thank you very much.
More than 6 episodes ago.
Yeah,
It was junior year, wasn't it, that he commented
Yeah.
on aliens?
But
It's
it's
like a
really
year
like
ago.
anime does this thing where like you'll have like an intro to a setting, an intro to a character. The character will do a really cool thing, and then they will explain their motivation to an audience like surrogate who
Right.
comes in and they're like, no, it is my quest to become the #1 Pokemon master, or I must collect the Philosopher's Stone, or I will create the god on Earth, whatever.
Okay, we were supposed to be talking about good anime tropes.
Fair point. I'm just talking about anime in general. But basically for this comic I'm working on, I'm just kind of like I'm really enjoying throwing the audience into a pool without any introductory knowledge, except for Shadow Queen, but whatever. Other good anime tropes. Everyone has shiny hair. I'm going to count that as a good trope, because I appreciate seeing that on human beings.
Well, I think the hairstyle and costuming in anime, while interesting, gets kind of obnoxious after a while, at least to me.
To put that in a better way, more creative, varied, and weird character designs.
That's
an anime
also
thing.
true.
Also, I just wanted to bring this up because before we get too far away from it, but remember how the main character of Aldnoah Zero is incredibly unlikable because he's a board? Like he's just flat as a piece of board. A piece of board. Thanks, Gavin. So he suffered traumatic brain injuries at the end of the first season, and now he's a much better person and character, and it's kind of hilarious.
Something that I'm gonna actually count as a good thing in anime writing is that part of like one thing that happens a lot, especially with the big pop where do I even start with this topic? Shonen anime is anime directed at 5 to 12-year-old boys. It is also the most popular like genre, if you can even call it a genre, which is hard to discern, of manga, anime, cartoons in Japan. It has the widest reach of anyone. Like everybody loves shonen. Everybody loves One Piece. Everybody loves Dragon Ball. From your 70-year-old grandmother to your working dads who don't do anything with their lives except work, and watch anime. But you have this thing because those series are created in such a way, at least with the big shonen titles, which influence a lot of things. I'm accepting like 13 episode like art house series from this generalization. But you have this thing where manga writers, who all those big shows are based on, have to write a chapter, which is 18 pages of new content a week. And they do this usually for 3 to 15 years without stopping.
Wow.
Dragon Ball did that for 10 years. Naruto did that for 10 years. One Piece is doing that for 15 years. There's a boxing manga that's been doing it for 30. I forget the name, but it's 182 books long now. I'm going to forget that the name's just Gert. But basically, you have this thing where people make shit up. And you just got to keep writing and writing and writing and writing. So anime has this thing that I really love that is emphasized in anime, I think, because of that, where you have retcon after retcon after retcon after retcon after, and pointing these out is like an art. It's fun trying to figure out where the bullshit lines cross over with each other.
Right.
And that enhances my experience of it anyway, like trying to figure out what was actually planned and what wasn't, and the answer is none of it.
The thing about that, though, is that it only applies to those long runners, of which there aren't a huge number.
That's true.
I mean, there's the big three and Dragon Ball and, like, how many more?
Hold on. Bleach, Naruto, One Piece, Dragon Ball, JoJo, like, that one about, like, Bobobos or Bobobobobobobos. Fairy Tale.
Bananas?
Yes, bananas.
They're green, in case you were wondering.
They are green. Full Metal Alchemist actually gets major props because they didn't do that, and it was super long and everything was planned out ahead of time.
Wait, so is Full Metal Alchemist a shonen?
Technically it is, and that's what I was actually going to bring up, is that the fact that some of these shows have these tropes doesn't mean that the genre actually is those tropes, because...
Interesting. So there's, like, crossover.
FMA is, how many volumes?
28.
Yeah, 28. It's not... And in anime form, that's something like 60 episodes. It's not... whereas some of these others go into the 300s or 400s.
Right.
And most shonen don't even go, like, past 50. So, most of the time... It doesn't, like, they don't have these problems, but okay, these are, like, unique to it. They're just not most of it, is, I guess, what I'm getting at.
But they're also the most popular series in existence, and therefore the most people see them and the most people know anime for those tropes. And one of the reasons, going full circle Ouroboros on us, Avatar, is that Avatar is a lot like that too. Because Avatar started out where you have a set of characters, a season 1 ending, a season 2 ending, and a season 3 ending, and a general arc for the entire series, but then they just sort of took their time and made their way and kind of didn't have an exact plan for how everything was going to go. They were still writing episode by episode, even though they had benchmarks for where everything was going. And the fact that they managed to wrap all of it up and have it be so emotionally satisfying in 60 episodes without too much padding is a fucking marvel achievement of television, if you ask me. It's wonderful.
So then would Korra not be in that same tradition then?
Korra's different because Korra is fucked. Just like in okay, in terms of production and planning and the Avatar guys knew they had 60 episodes from the beginning, sort of. I actually read some production notes about this. It's in the art book. They knew they had 13 episodes. The Blue Spirit episode, which is episode 13, was originally supposed to act as kind of a series finale on the off chance that they didn't actually get renewed. When they got renewed, they got the full 61 episodes that they were going to get.
I see.
So then they were able to go from there. Korra, they were only going to make 1 season, and then halfway through season 1, we have a 2nd season. So they are only going to make 2nd season. And then at the end of season 1, they got 2 more seasons. So suddenly they're making 4 seasons. They had no planning. And then Nickelodeon was like, no, you can't do that. But then you have to do that. But then they did all these stupid things. And the production of Korra is very difficult.
You know what all this sounds like to me? It sounds like it's time for some late night, actually. And I guess with the late night segment tonight, since we didn't get around to it before the late night segment, I guess we'll also add in...
Using big words hurts you.
So like we did last week, or not last week, 2 weeks ago, I'm going to let both Colin and Aaron guess at the meaning of the word that I provide for them.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me just pull up the Big Words music that Colin has requested, which is also from Avatar. So the first word in our Big Word segment today is tachism or tachism. I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly.
Wait, spell it?
Tachism. Wait, sorry, Colin, say that again?
Different song. This song is literally 20 seconds long.
Oh, okay.
Ocarina of Time opening again.
Okay, but tachism.
Use it in a sentence, would you?
Fuck. Hold on.
Yes.
If I were to dip my hand... God, this is a hard word to use in a sentence because it literally gives it away if I say it in a sentence. But I guess if I dipped my hand in like a jar of paint and just sort of did that, I would be doing tachism.
Did what, Kevin? That?
Like,
you did that?
Like, sorry.
No, what? I don't think I understand as a
God.
listener. Like, what are you saying? You did that?
I smeared my hand on the wall.
Okay, so I'm gonna guess that this means a form of art or painting characterized by being random as fuck and throwing paint
Or
at a wall.
or like Jackson Pollock is a good
Yeah,
example.
okay.
He did tachism or tachism.
My guess was going to be putting paint on your dick and waving it around.
Helicopter dicking
Well,
paint.
that could be.
No, tachism
tachism.
is painting by smearing or splattering.
Yeah, see, that could be tachism.
Hold on. I'll give you the second word and then put on the music. Gliriform. Gliriform.
Sorry, Kevin, but real quick, are we coming through okay with the mic like this? Because we've changed the format over here.
You need to be talking into it like this. Like
Okay, that's what I thought. Hang on.
Don't put it back if it squeaks.
I know, but at least we'll get picked up this way.
Yeah, no, you weren't really getting picked up the other way.
Sorry about
So, Ocarina of Time, what?
Opening.
Okay.
that. And the word was gliriform?
Gliriform.
Gliriform, sorry.
Yeah.
Gliriform. All right. It's so peaceful.
Gliriform. Gliriform.
Oh. Sentence?
A mouse wind-up toy is a gliriform object.
An object that looks like an animal but isn't, and may or may not be a robot Cylon in your basement.
I mean, less specific in
Wait.
some ways and more specific in others.
Something that looks like a rodent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gliriform is
2 for 2.
gliriform is resembling a rodent. The third word is inesculent. Inesculent.
Your turn.
Sentence, please.
Cardboard is largely inesculent.
Brown? Slidey. Kind of
Cardboard is largely inesculent because you cannot cook with it. There are no recipes involving cardboard.
like... Inedible?
Yeah, inedible.
Oh my god.
Oh, come on, you should let us both try.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
The fourth word is lysis. Lysis.
Oh man, this reason.
Resembling a woman who would potentially get knocked out of a door that may be on top of a castle in sort of a moon-ish fashion by her husband who actually wants to sleep with her niece.
What?
Lysish, right? Like Lysa? but ish.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Seriously, dude. Oh, from Game of Thrones. Yeah, Game of Thrones, season 4,
Oh.
last episode.
That's right.
Peter Baelish.
Yeah, no, it's lysis. Lysis.
Pertaining to cell forms.
That actually, I'm really impressed, honestly, because that's such a, I mean, all of the other words that would have lysis type things would pertain to cell forms, but not this one. Well, no, actually, no, this one could. It's
Maybe.
just a little more general than that. Aaron, do you have a guess?
Did you already say a sentence? Because
I did not say a
you
sentence.
should.
I should really think of sentences for these words before we
probably
get on the
should.
air. This is bad
Riveting
form.
radio.
Just me sitting here trying to think of a sentence. Okay, so if I were to set fire to this whole studio and it were to burn to the ground, it would be an example of lysis.
Arson? Destruction of property?
It is destruction, but not specifically arson. It's just disintegration or destruction.
Ah, okay.
I'm not even gonna try to make a sentence for this, so I'm sorry. Quango.
A undulation with your mouth.
No.
Quango.
It's Q-U-A-N-G-O. Like mango with a Q-U instead of an M.
It's like a quail mango.
Brilliant.
I don't know. Orange. It's a synonym for orange.
No. It's not a synonym for orange, Colin. Quango. This is so fucking weird that there's no way I can use this in a sentence. I'm sorry.
Django's half-brother.
A Quango is a quasi-autonomous, non-governmental organization.
God damn it! You can't use acronyms. That's cheating.
Wait, that's an acronym?
Didn't you just say quasi-autonomous or something?
Quasi-autonomous, non-governmental organization. Oh, I guess
Yes!
it is an acronym.
God damn it!
It was in
how
the
did you
dictionary.
not? How did you not notice? Is it
Well,
not in
it
all
was-
caps?
No, it isn't, because
What?
it was in the dictionary I was using as just a normal ass word.
What?
Yeah, like no abbreviation type stuff at all. It was just sort of in there.
Shame on you.
I know. I'm sorry.
Wait, okay, wait. Say the full thing again.
Quango means a quasi-autonomous, non-governmental organization.
Quasi-autonomous? Never
Yeah,
mind.
quasi-autonomous is the QUA, I guess.
Right,
and then
right. I'm just wondering, like, what
NGO
we're
for
talking.
non-governmental organization. I guess it is an acronym.
Yeah, it is.
Fuck.
I know. I'm just curious what we're talking about here, like
semantics
specifically.
is / are important, depending on how the verb should be conjugated. I'm not sure.
Is there like?
Hey, I'm an English major.
Hey, was there like an example of something that
No.
qualifies as a quango?
No,
Okay.
this dictionary doesn't give examples or sentences,
All right.
which is part of why it's hard for me to create sentences to go with these words that I'm giving you guys, because I don't have sentences for them in the dictionary that I use. You know what, Colin? Next, I'm going to give you not the email address, but I'm going to give you
Email address?
the website that I pull these words off of. And next week, I want you to come in with 5 words for me.
Oh, the tides have turned.
Yeah.
The power is in my hand. This is
mean,
gonna be great. I'm
yeah.
gonna enjoy this greatly.
Yeah, I'm going to enjoy it too. See how well I do on the other side. And seriously, come up with the weirdest words possible.
Your first word is entmoot.
A mood of ents.
Exactly. You win.
This is why I'm going to give you a dictionary to do it instead of just doing it off the top of your head.
I have a word for you.
Okay.
Pusillanimous.
Uh,
It does mean what you think it means.
Miscellaneous vaginas.
Okay, not that. No, if I remember correctly,
Maybe that should be the show title.
miscellaneous vaginas. No. I like the other one better. What was it?
the
Mud
other
and
one?
Splooge. Yeah.
Mud and Splooge.
Splooge.
Oh God.
I think. Okay, actually, I'm not 100% sure that this is the only definition, but as I recall, it's a synonym for cowardly, as in you're a pussy.
Pusillanimous.
Pusillanimous. But that's not where us calling someone a pussy where it comes from. It's a false cognate,
Right.
which is really interesting because like all of the stuff involving puss is not all from the same source, nor does it all mean the same thing because it comes from the same source.
Yeah, all puss is not coming from the same source.
Why did you go there?
No, that was warranted. You're welcome.
Oh my God. What has
Three
our
guys
show become?
in a booth, and we're sweaty. We're making vagina jokes. This is really going to go well on our
it's not-
academic record.
I mean,
Welcome to late night.
yeah, really, welcome to late night. I mean, there's...
So, do you guys want to hear my late night ninja story then? Because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
tangentially related.
You should tell your ninja
Because
story.
I went to Ninja last night, and we did this fun thing where we were bored, and there were only 8 of us. So like, let's play miniature Dominion. So we played Dominion with 8 people, where we made the map a lot smaller. Went sideways across it, where one of the
Cool.
items was an art building field, and one of the items was in corridor going down to tables. And we had 2 items, one of which was a small plastic bat, and the other of which was a boffer dagger, which, if you can imagine, a boffer dagger looks quite a bit like a large black dildo. So
yeah.
there were fights for the dildo, and we had to grab it. It was fun.
That's hella janky.
I hate you. Put that shit away. Zip up your pants and leave. This is my
I'm
show now, and
sorry.
you're not bringing that into it.
Yes, I would like to offer a correction. The word is actually pusillanimous.
Pusillanimous?
Pusillanimous. But I got the definition right.
QRZUXTP.
You what?
Huh?
What?
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 You,
What?
Talk about Star Trek.
What if?
What if? Oh, God.
What if we were going somewhere with this?
We aren't. Surprise, we aren't. This is how we always do it on What the Hell Did You Expect? We never go anywhere with anything.
I mean, what the hell did you expect?
Right. Right? Someone who finally gets it.
Hey! All right, talk about Star Trek.
So I've been watching Star Trek Deep
no,
Space
actually,
Nine.
let's not talk about Star Trek.
Fucking seriously?
I just remembered we have to talk about D&D. We haven't talked about D&D in weeks.
Yeah, I should talk about Dungeons and Dragons. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go first. All
Go.
the party got trapped in a cave, and they ran into a skeleton rave. There were skeletons. They were raving. Turns out all the skeletons were pirates. And the
But not skeletons? Were
No.
they skeleton pirates?
Yeah, they were pirate skeletons.
Okay.
They're just no, they were dead guys who were skeletons, and they were hanging out in a cave, raving. And my party, who was escorting some cultist refugees with the aid of the princess of the Elven Imperium, they got separated because a rebel faction attacked them, and they had to go into a cave, and it got collapsed after them. So they're in a dungeon. Also, the party ran into some skeletons who were drunk on sapphires, because skeletons can drink sapphires and get drunk. And when they engaged in combat with these drunk skeletons, and the party, Urag, actually smashed one of these skeletons to dust, all of the other skeletons looked at the crushed skeleton and had a massive existential crisis about the nature of death and how they, as skeletons, could also die. It was very exciting. Also, they ran into ghosts who were pumpkin ghosts because they had pumpkin heads and were ghosts. It turns out all the ghosts are actually the ghosts of dead grandmothers who kept offering the party cookies and getting them. The grandmother ghosts kept trapping all the party members in quantum time loops so they could keep walking through rooms that would never end and they couldn't get anywhere. And they kept haunting them and offering them cookies because they're grandmothers.
I have a lot of questions about this. How do they drink sapphires?
Because sapphires contain magical elements that allow skeletons to get drunk on them.
It was the drinking part that I was wondering about. Do they just kind of bounce around inside the rib cage and fall out?
No, they fall to the ground. But the magical effects are absorbed by the magical skeleton magic-y bits and their undeadiness, and they become one, therefore allowing them to get drunk.
Okay, so in my campaign, which is a lot more realistic and makes sense, a few weeks ago, I don't think we talked about it, but so my party got their hands on an IOU for a gigantic sum of gold, but they couldn't do anything with it because they needed a bank account to transfer it into. So Natalie's character opened up a bank account under an alias as Monica Lewinsky, and then went to the magic market, tried to pickpocket some gold from someone to open the bank account with. It failed miserably. Guards found her and, tied her up and started beating her up. So Adas's character tries to cast fire at the guard tent and fails twice, and then casts lightning at the guard tent, which sets it on fire. But by this point, the guards are onto her as well because she's been waving her arms and yelling fire spells, and nothing's been happening. So her pet wolf catapults her with its head out through the canopy of the magic market. They meet up with Benoit eventually and tell him about their adventures, and he's kind of suspicious of them, but lets it slide. And then this week, they were on a bounty hunting mission. They had to hunt down an elf druid named Judok, who has a bear companion and was on the run from the law. They found him in a druid social club in sort of a weird part of town, and it had a spa and it's basically the Order of the White Lotus, the druid social club. So our party druid, Adas's character, had a very interesting discussion with the druid about activism and political and stuff like that, and eventually succeeded. Yay.
Tell me more about how your super realistic campaign had someone catapulting off the head of a wolf.
Well, this is a gnome, so it's very
okay.
small. And
I didn't know that.
The wolf is huge. Also, the wolf is
dire wolf.
Not quite dire wolf, but almost
horse-sized, or
not horse-sized, but think of a Great Dane.
Can we actually talk about and try and figure out how the fuck big the direwolves are supposed to be in the Song of Ice and Fire? Because I've never actually had that clarified for me. I think they're up to Rob's shoulder. Maybe in the show they're definitely smaller, but
yeah, but
how big are they actually supposed to be? Because they're supposed to tower over things, but then also be relatively wolf-sized. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I think, at least from my understanding of it, dire wolves are supposed to be about as tall as a person.
Okay. Because Rob definitely rides Grey Wind into battle during the Battle of the Whispering Woods in a Game of Thrones. But beyond that, how big are they? I don't know.
Yeah.
According to the Game of Thrones wiki, an adult dire wolf is as large as a small horse.
That's pretty
How
fucking
big is a
big.
small horse?
Well, when you take into account that a large horse, I have some experience with this because when Anna and I dated, I went out to her barn occasionally and met her horses. When you take into account that a large horse stands about 10 or 12 feet tall, the at the height of its head, a small horse would be about 8 feet. So, not quite.
That's a really big fucking wolf.
Yeah,
That's also awesome. Can I have one? Oh, that's so cool.
A horse can cost you anywhere from, $500 for a really shitty horse from a really, from some weird old lady out in the country to millions of dollars for a really, really, really nice horse.
But I don't want a horse. I want a dire wolf.
Oh, a dire wolf? Well, I don't think they exist, actually.
This is a friendly reminder to go look up pictures of Game of Thrones dire wolves because a lot of the pictures will involve them as puppies when they were first adopted.
Yeah.
They're kind of the cutest things in the world. That is all.
Also, what's the dire wolf? The Jon Snow's dire wolf's name?
Ghost.
Ghost. That's right. I just remember watching the show because I haven't read any of the books because I have a life to live.
Ouch.
But I just remember watching the show and thinking that is like the cutest wolf, the cutest ferocious killing machine I've ever seen.
Yeah. I still want one.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't
It's
know.
scary.
So, Aaron, what do you think's going to happen in Game of Thrones Season 5?
Tyrion's probably gonna die.
You're dumb. That's not going to happen. Don't say that. Heresy.
No, I know Tyrion doesn't die. I've already spoiled it for myself.
Well, I know what's not going to happen.
Why?
I know that Arya doesn't die because George R. R. Martin's wife threatened to like divorce him if he killed her off.
I heard about that. That's
Yeah. I know shit happens to her, but I know
She
she
goes to
doesn't die.
Bravos and trains with the assassin people, doesn't she?
Go ahead.
sort of.
Sort of.
I've read all the books, and I'm going to leave it at sort of. Yes and no. That may be what she wants, but that's not really what's happening.
Can we just ponder how incredibly scary Arya would be if her abilities matched her will?
Oh dear God, yeah. I would not want to get on her bad side. I mean, I already wouldn't want to get on her bad side as she is at the end of season 4.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. But I mean, and that was also such a the way. Have you watched all of season 4?
Yeah.
Okay, the way she left the Hound to
Damn,
die.
son.
Damn, that was so cold-hearted.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of really hated that. I'm not as huge of an Arya fan as I used to be.
I think that made
You're
me
not
more
supposed
of an
to like
Arya
her.
fan.
I mean, I know she's awesome, but she's kind of not okay in a lot of ways. And yeah, like this was a very natural progression of things and how it goes. Actually, I'm just gonna, in the book, not to draw too many comparisons.
Oh, sorry. Damn it, that's not playing on the thing.
Kevin.
I put in my cell phone.
Kevin.
No,
Kevin, what are you
doing? Give me a second. I did ruin the joke.
That punchline is just gone, like to the wind. So you're gonna let me keep talking, or you're gonna fuddle-duddle with equipment over there?
Hold on, I'm just fuddle-duddling with equipment just a little bit more. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Hodor.
Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage.
There's also I've showed you the game of Cats.
Yes, please don't play that.
No. You know what you should play?
What?
This Game of Goats.
Is there a game of goats?
Yes. Do it. Search
Oh,
it
my
right now.
God.
Okay, I'm just before you play that. Never mind.
Oh, it took a second to load. It's back again. Yay.
Is that a cat?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry,
so in the book, you know that scene at the very beginning of season 4?
No.
When Arya and the Hound go into that inn and
Oh yeah.
and he's like, I'm gonna eat a whole fucking bunch of chickens, and they kill Polliver, and Arya gets needle back.
Yeah.
That in the book, that scene, following that scene directly is the scene where the Hound is wounded and Arya leaves him to die. Everything between that, like everything in the show that happened between them, was drawn out and padded. Like book 3 for Arya is like a bunch of shit happening, but the Hound, her and the Hound is like the last fourth of it for those two characters. So basically Arya is coming off the Red Wedding, being forced to hang out with the Hound. filled with anger, rage. Her mother is dead. Her brother is dead. She thinks her entire family is dead except for Sansa, because nobody knows that Bran and Rickon are still alive except for Theon, who's running into his own mess of troubles. Oh ho ho. But so it's like having her just sort of leave the Hound there is like this. Oh my God, it's just like, it makes a lot of sense just to me. Like, no, fuck you. I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm going to Bravos. I'm going to become a goddamn assassin. All of y'all can burn in hell. And that's basically what she does, and it works.
Okay, see, that makes a lot more sense. But so she doesn't even go to the Eyrie and find out that her...
that never happened.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and all the stuff with... I think, actually, a lot of the stuff with... what's the lady knight's name? Brienne of Tarth. I think a lot of that stuff didn't really happen in the book either.
Okay, sort of. All of the Brienne and Podrick stuff is from book 4.
Okay.
That does still happen. The Brienne and Jaime stuff, of course, still happens. Brienne, Jaime, and Cersei hang out in King's Landing for a while in book 4 and book 3, and that's really interesting. And I hope but they can't bring more of that in because they basically sent Brienne off as soon as she was introduced. But
she's gonna die soon, though, I think.
So yeah, but no, the Brienne versus the Hound fight didn't happen, like, at all. Arya never met Brienne. Arya will probably never meet Brienne because she went to Bravos before they could ever intersect. Brienne is also doing very interesting things.
And about to die. I know that much.
What? No. Brienne, okay. You put me in a difficult situation where, regardless of what I say, it's spoilers. But okay, I'm just not going to say anything.
Okay.
Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter.
Try really hard to hold my tongue right now.
Play the goats thing and we'll transition away from this. Or not.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to try and inflict any more George Michael on any of our listeners right now. Well, I think I need to get back to editing my paper, actually. So I think this is a good place to leave it off. We've actually done a little bit longer of an episode this week, as we usually do with a guest host. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to Aaron Graham for being on this week as our guest host. And thank you always to Colin Sipley for whatever the hell you do.
Alpacas.
Yeah. Okay.
I ride them at sheep. Yes.
And I think we're going to end it for the night. But
sorry for all the squeaky mic stuff. If that shows up, there's really no way around this. We tried.
Yeah. Before I think we're going to have a DAS on soon, so we're going to try and figure out how to fix mic 3 up in the next few shows. I think it'll just be Colin and I for the next show. But until next time. We will see you on Sunday at the same time in the same place and
same bat channel.
Yeah, same bat channel, same bat time, all that good stuff. And until then, you can check out our Facebook page, or even send us a message on Facebook. Ask us about something.
We'd love to read your questions on the air.
Yeah, we would love to have like a listener comment section. Although I highly doubt that's ever going to happen. I mean, we literally have in the tens of listeners, if even that. Right. So, anyway, this has been a very long-winded outro. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again next week.
Sunday, 8 p.m. I really want KFC now.
Yes, I am a Major General. For he is a Major General.